Hi everyone, Mary at Espresso Press Design. Thank you for joining me today. May 13th, 2025. I appreciate it very much. Another rainy week ahead, and I was just trying to readjust my lights, but I don't think it's going to help very much. So I'm getting more dark shadows than anything, so I'm turning it off. So my apologies. Normally it would be so sunny that I would probably have to be putting a screen in front of the window, but or a curtain in front of the window. Today we're going to make some flowers, Fodder flowers, in honor of spring. But first I wanted to have a little quick explanation for someone who had another question on the wax paper laminate. I have several videos doing this, and my best suggestion, if you're a newbie, hopefully you're watching, would be to start out with a napkin and wax paper and watch that video, because once you get the concept, it will be easier for you to move on to other things and practice it yourself. So then you can move on to something, putting it on a base. Then you can move on to doing envelopes and different applications. But really the best way to learn is by doing, because this was an experiment for me as well, because I was just wondering if wax paper was more like plastic or if it was more like paper, and how difficult is it to glue. And that's how it started. Because if you've ever glued plastic, it's very difficult to glue. If you've ever tried cereal bags, or which are somewhat difficult to glue, maybe even impossible, I can't remember, but I've never had luck with cereal bags. If you've ever tried to glue something like a potato chip bag, that is practically impossible. So that was how it began, and then I realized I didn't have to use a liquid glue, I could use a glue stick. So it just evolved from an experiment, and I didn't know if it would work, but all the projects just evolved from an experiment. So that's the main point, is start with this napkin laminate bag, which I have a video of. That's the most foolproof method, and then you will understand the concept better, and then you can move on and try other things. So I hope that encourages you, and I hope you'll give it a try, and I hope you're watching. So okay, we've been doing our printing, our foam printing, and we have all kinds of fodder, right? So I'm using that today. So you might wonder, what is fodder? Well, fodder is any junk paper that you have or created to do collage. You can use your, sheets, sheets that you use as a protective mat on your table. anything is fodder. I don't have any digital fodder on my table right now, but scraps of digitals, scraps of book pages, anything like that is fodder. So that's what you will need today, and I hope I do not have to paint or do fodder. Here's some more examples of cut-offs that I have to use today. And then I have this stack of fodder of pieces, you know, that I don't really like that well. So I thought I would find something to do with those. This is a book page painting. Some of these are plain, more plain, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So yeah, I'm just using scrap pieces, and some are just watercolored pages, ones I didn't like particularly. Things like this, just practice. Okay, and then I wanted to show you this. I did make a tile, so I got a little lazy and I didn't feel like cleaning off my plate, but I would like to make some pages like this, do a different tile with the foam printing, and do some pages like this, like a quilt. So I was practicing that. I've made some new foam stamps, and I wanted to show you that. So I'm not cutting these up today, but I have this pile of my fodder and this little pile to begin making these flowers. And some of these I like, so they're not going to get cut up. But that's where my fodder is coming from, what we've done the last week, and even a few sheets of previous projects. This is fodder, and this is fodder. So fodder is just things you use mainly for collage, but you can use it for a lot of things. And previously I had been using it to make beads. It makes lovely beads. Lovely, lovely, lovely beads. Hopefully you can see that. But as you can see, I have enough beads, so I had to come up with something else. So that is why I came up with these, and they were inspired by a few different types of flowers I've seen. So they are just layered pieces of fodder, and some of them I rimmed with gold. Some of them, I don't have one here. Some of them I made with book pages. Some of them I painted with another color, like that, painted the edge with another color. You can do whatever you like. This happens to be watercolor paper, and I stamped text on it, and made one with like that. So that is what we're going to do, and I have another example here. I put one in this book. Thought it was pretty with that. And then I did another one, And this is an example, and glued each piece down so it was flat. So this one is not dimensional. And then I glued it on an index card for a little note card. So that's, and this is where the plain paper comes in, because as you can see there's a layer of plain, busy, plain, busy, plain, as in no design. So that helps accentuate the different layers if you like something like that. So that's why I have some plain papers in there as well. Okay, so what you will need, very simple, this week is your fodder, some decorator scissors. Now I chose a little wave like that, but any ones you like will do. I chose a zigzag, and I chose a scribble, or what's that called? Corkscrew. So I have a lot of decorator scissors, but I just stuck with 3. And then my center circle I just cut out with regular scissors. And you'll need some glue. And to help me, because I know how I am with circles, and what I would do is end up with a 16-mile spiral and not have any circles. So I'm using these as a helpful tool to help me draw circles before I cut them out with these scissors. So that's the main purpose of that, and you might find that helpful too. So I'm just going to start here, and these are fun because they're also kind of like surprise cuts. I'll save those little pieces for later. They're also like surprise cuts. So I generally took 2 coordinating pieces, maybe this and this, maybe this and this, of course you can go opposite if you want. Let me see if I can find one that's more blue. Oh, I'm not going to cut that one up, but this is more blue. You could go opposite you want and make things really bold. Maybe I do have a piece of blue watercolor. No, I actually don't. This is the closest I have to blue. So you could go opposite if you want your layers to show up better. Or you could rim them with ink, or you can rim them with, I got a new gold metallic watercolor, and I rimmed them with that. So that's pretty much it. And I just took, let's try a dark, see what happens. Okay, so I just took that. Oh, and you'll need a pencil. So I started with 1, the largest one. Get up here so you can see. And then drew my circle. Okay. Get that out of the way. Then took my next largest one, went over to my other paper, drew my circle, went back over here, drew another one, then went back over here, and drew another one. Well, this is how I'm working on scraps. When I was using a full sheet, I just drew a whole bunch of these different size circles on the full sheet and then layered them how I thought it looked good at the end. Wait, it's supposed to be here. But when I began using the scraps, that's how I did it. But either way, as long as you end up, there's 5 layers in these particular circles. If you make them smaller, there's 4. So however many layers you want in your flowers, that's what that's how many that's how many circles you're going to need. And if you don't have those, you can use any type of thing you have to trace a circle. Glue caps, jars. I have a couple of water containers. That are from cat food, things like that. Anything you can trace to make a circle will do. So I'm just going to give this a little trim. This is so easy, but I just decided I can use these in a lot of different ways. So they can go on a tag. They can become a tag if you use thick enough paper. You can write little messages on the back of them or prompts. And I can use these for a lot of different things. So that's what I'm going to do. And the edge there makes it kind of funky, so it's a little more whimsical. And then at a certain point, I just began to alternate what scissors I was using. And just kept going. There's another layer. And then back to here, and I think I'll go with my corkscrew. These would make a great focal point for an artist trading card, or a postcard, or a greeting card. Okay, another one. Let me cut off that excess. there. I have another piece of fodder. Well, let's go with something different and do the zigzag. And I'm not worrying about staying on the line, but if you are better at cutting out circles, okay, where's my... You can just do something like this and cut these out freehand if you want, you know. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Oh geez, I meant to... I do that every week. I meant to shut that door so you don't hear my dog barking. And as I said, it's going to be a rainy week. I don't know if I'm ever going to get any sun. I am so pale. You know, my daughter's home. So I'm so happy about that. Okay, so now we're just going to glue. And sometimes I did that one, I went over it with gold, and then I just did some more scribbling on top of it. If you want to do something like that. I have to order glue today. I need glue. There's something else I need, and now I'm forgetting. I hate to cover that, but oh well. Actually, I need both kinds of glue. So I better write that down. Okay. Ooh, I like this one. Yeah, I kind of think a dark in between is nice. Here you go. Okay, we can make another one. Let's do a blue one. I don't want to cut that up. Oh, I did have a blue and green watercolor. I thought I did. Thought I saw one. Okay, let's try this. And this time I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to put the big circle on the plane. So see, if I had something like this and it was all busy, I would just go over and make a whole bunch of different circles, as many as I could fit. And then, you know, cut them all out and layer them, or, you know, you can just have a fun cut out circles out of everything, and then have a fun play sitting there and coordinating them. Which is pretty much what I did the day I made most of those. So it was just like what am I going to do with all of this? I love beads. I love my beads, but I don't think I need any more beads. Did I do that right? No, it doesn't seem like I did that right. So which one am I missing? Oh, that is smaller. Okay. Back to here. Okay. Keep those somewhere where they won't get lost. Here's another piece of fodder that I can use in collage. Oh, and then what I thought, that would be cool if I did a masterboard and use these to decorate the masterboard. And then chop that up. That would be fun. I love surprise cuts. That's a little wonky. That's okay, because they're wonky flowers. This kind of reminds me of the French, is it French rose quilts? I love those too. I wish I had the patience for that. But I'll just have to make my quilts out of paper. Oh, yeah, I did screw that up. Okay, so I need another one. What size was that? What size was that? I think it was this one. Okay. Let's try that again. Oh no, I'm on the same thing. Where's my other? Do I have any more of you? Oh, yes I do. Okay. You get out of the way. Oh, I hope I catch that. Oh well. That's what it is. Oh, that's pretty. Let me just give that a whack. Okay, that's pretty. Now let's get back on track. Don't lose my little one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I hope everyone had a happy Mother's Day. That was our only nice day. And since, oh, I did it again. Or did I? Yes, I did. WTF. Okay. Well, this flower is going to be whatever it turns out to be. Two, three, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I did. Do I have that? No, that's that. Oh well, this is going to be a funky flower. And what I'm going to do, well, that will give me a good way to demonstrate how to rim an edge, as if you didn't know. Or are we 32? I'm going to wrap this up. Okay. So I just took I got some new gold metallic watercolor. It was a steal. I think it was on sale for $2 on Amazon. And usually, I just thought, well, I want to see if it's really as metallic. I want to see if it's really metallic. So I'm just going to leave the blue. And rim that with gold. That's a little too liquidy. Okay. So that's a little translucent. So then I have that. Those are delineated enough. So I need some gold on here. And of course you can just use your ink and your dauber. So that's how I did that. It gives it a nice effect. Okay. Let's glue. Oh my, there's always a way to fix something. Okay. But that would have looked so much better if they were opposite layers. But that's okay. The gold is going to make it stand out. This is still a little wet. And then I did covered that center with gold. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Operator error. But that's all it is. Very simple. Fun little thing to do. Give you some cool flowers. that are different, and you can use them in a lot of different ways. Page go. That. And that. Okay, where's the other one we did today? This one. I like that, using a dark. You could use, what's it called? Cardstock, if you wanted. But there we go. And don't forget, you can use book pages. Those were also cool. And just sit there and do a bunch of doodling in your book, like I do. Use that. So that's this week's project. You could try it with scrapbook paper, design scrapbook paper, origami paper. If you don't feel like painting your own fodder or doing mixed media or anything like that. So, okay everyone, that's it for this week, and thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you next time. Bye.